What is up, guys? Flappy here to showcase my first hour with Path of Exile 2. Now, I'm relatively new to Path of Exile as a whole. While I played Path of Exile in the past, it wasn't entirely in the most good of faiths. Don't know what that was. Anyways, with Path of Exile 2, it's a new way to be introduced to the series, so with a brand new open mind and a strong desire to find a fun game to talk about, how were my first hours within Path of Exile 2? So I'm going to share this first. I always start my games by doing research. Before I even think about buying it, I think about the research behind it. So it has taken me 1 month to actually fully decide if I wanted to purchase this game. And after it, I decided it's worth my money, just so that's in the air. So I first started with doing research as I typically do before opening any game. And I was immediately met with decision paralysis due to the amount of depth within the 6 characters in my past experience with Path of Exile, where if you weren't following a specific passive tree, you'd practically be screwed until you find the correct passage. Thankfully, through what I've researched, it turns out if you want to refund your points, you just talk to a character who unlocks not too far along from the story. And this eased my tension a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And with the ability to play multiple characters, that also helped a lot. I decided to go with Sorceress as my first class. I enjoyed the illustration that the description of the casting elements gave me. Not exactly Avatar, but it was close enough. So I'm gonna have some footage on screen. It isn't exactly the first act, but it's towards the end of it where I'm fighting the boss. That's going to be the B-roll footage that you're seeing right now, because I honestly didn't think I would be enjoying the game as much as I am. After finishing the tutorial, it puts you in the first town of many within the game. I say many because I finished Act 1. I'm currently on Act 2. That puts you in a different town entirely. I was personally a little confused on the town's first introduction, but decided the game would tell me what was important later on the more I pushed through the game. So it helped me out to be able to just ignore it and move on. I don't know if that would benefit for you guys, but it helped me. The game for me past this point was relatively straightforward. I go through an open map, I kill some mobs on the way to a designated location in order to grab something for an NPC in the town, or I can continue killing more mobs for the NPCs in town. That description may not sound like the most exciting off face value, but the loot was increasingly rewarding, gifting me a ice cold Galid staff. Hopefully I said that right. That has been carrying me exclusively through Act 1 and currently Act 2. This staff opened my eyes to the loop the game is trying to push. Farm enemies to gain strong rewards with stats that can carry you well past the level you're at. Noticing this, as I was continuing through the missions, I was constantly looking for something that would provide me a boost as strong as my staff did. But for my other armor slots, such as my ring, my chest, my legs, my head, and my arms. In addition to this, I noticed little small orbs dropping. Now, as I stated, this is a first hour experience, so realistically, I didn't have any idea what they did before I looked it up. They allow you to fix your weapon. But I knew they were important due to a video Moist Critical had put out, basically dunking on Elon for not knowing anything about the game while being a high-level hardcore player.
Chaos Orb, no loot filter.
Is like no, he just ran past Chaos Orbs. He just ran past the Chaos Orb.
Chaos Orbs are one of the most important currencies, and they're also really rare. I have about 140 Exalts. I have like 9 Chaos Orbs, just so you guys understand.
This fucking goober doesn't even have the wherewithal to loot one of the most valuable currencies in the game with a Chaos Orb. I'm 30 hours deep. I've seen one in 30 hours. And he just runs.
Realizing that it's probably a losing battle to find a weapon on the floor with affixes that I'm looking for, I opted to collect wisdom scrolls and transmutation orbs instead, alongside any skill orbs that have been dropped with the intention to look at them when I returned to the town. After all was said and done, I had 1 yellow item, which is a rare in this game, and 4 to 5 blue items, which are magic items. That little loop made me want to play the game more. But since this is my first hour review, I am just going to close this off with my final thoughts, because this was just a quick video to basically talk about how I enjoyed the game, nothing too crazy. And the first hour really did let me know, like, this has something special going on. Playing with Sorceress, seeing the animations, seeing the controls work really snappy outside of Sparking Zero, because that is the game that I'm used to having. Seeing all the controls just work well, seeing the enemies be very diverse, seeing them drop items like galore, item galore dropping, that was really enjoyable for me. Seeing people in the town with microtransactions, yes, it is a beta or early access with microtransactions. You can talk about that in the comments. I don't have any real thoughts on that. I just assume that it's you helping out the developers. But seeing everybody use the microtransactions at the start in the town, coming back to town, seeing people that are around my level, that felt really good. Seeing that it's an ongoing community that keeps on coming in, just wrapping into itself was really cool. And then sometimes, I don't know if I have it in the video because I don't have the video right in front of me, but sometimes if you have the world chat open, they'll be saying some crazy stuff. Like sometimes it gets pretty degenerate. I'm not going to lie to you. It does get degenerate sometimes, but there is times where they are actively talking about things that are like helpful. There are things that you can internalize, put in your notes, whatever you do while you're gaming. I don't know how you guys game. I have a note section. That's just what I do. And seeing them do that stuff, it makes it helpful and easy for you to feel like you're not alone. Because it's very easy for you to turn off the world chat as you're just starting and be like, okay, what do I do? You know, and not see that the world is being lived in. You can see all the other players that's technically NPCs, honestly, if you're not interacting with them that way. And I feel like just having my first hour have the world chat there was incredibly helpful towards my experience to know that these are real people playing the game, especially with all the AI stuff going on currently with Meta and Instagram, Facebook, basically promoting bots. You know, it's really nice to see people have real conversations, even if it is degenerate to look at. Honestly, I may do more of these first hour-esque videos, or maybe I'll extend it to be like longer, because I feel like there's not really much you can grab in an hour, because there is a lot that I can say past this point. But if you're thinking about buying the game, this is just a general idea of what your first hour is going to look like before you actually get it. You know what I'm saying? And also, if this is something you would like to see more of, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because that lets me know that this is stuff that I can put out for you guys and it's not going to flop. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next video.